reportable actions to report.
You need a motion and a second?
Okay, a motion to come out of closed session.
Second.
Motion by Director Glennon, second by Director Webb. As I stated, there's no reportable action taken.
The vote, please.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. To come out of closed session, can I get a motion from Glennon, second by Webb? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 4-0. Okay, we're now in open session. Public comments. If there's anyone out there that would like to address the board, now's the time to do so. I guess there's no one out there. We'll move to voluntary public roll call via teleconference. Is there anyone out there that would like to identify themselves for the record? Minutes. Okay, there's no one out there. We'll move to consent calendar. CC1, review of the check voucher register dated October 14, 2025 through November 3rd, 2025. This includes payroll direct deposit dated October 22nd, 2025, payroll checks dated October 22nd, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Should we do all?
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's get all four of them in. CC2, accept and file the 2024-2025 audit. CC3, by motion, discuss and receive cash balances for September 2025 report. CC4, by motion, discuss and receive reserve balances, September 2025 report. And finally, CC5, by motion, discuss and receive first quarter treasurer's report. Can I get a motion to approve CC1, 2, 3, 4, and 5?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Director Webb. Second by Director Wood. Is there a discussion? No discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? It's 4-0. Okay, approval of the minutes. M1, approve October 22nd, 2025, regular board meeting minutes.
So moved.
By Director Wood,
Second.
second by Director Webb. There discussion? No discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 4-0. New business. NB1, accept President Ben Stewart's resignation. The presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Vice President Washington. We received an email from President Stewart on November 4th that he is regretfully resigning his position on the board. It's going to trigger a lot of things starting to happen. You'll see that in the remainder of the agenda, but the board needs to take action in accepting the resignation.
Make a motion to accept his resignation.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's 4-0. With that, NB2, election of officers. Presenter, General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. With the president's resignation now, the board needs to select vice president, the president and a vice president. And it's been board policy for the vice president to assume the president's position. And then the next board member that would serve as an officer would be the one that's most, the ones that have been president, recently.
Seniority.
Yes, it's based on seniority. Thank you very much. Helping me out there. But Director Wood would actually be, the
Guy in the rotation.
the presumed nominee for vice president. So with that, unless, that would be the recommendation from staff based on the district's policy.
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Vice President Washington for board president.
Second.
Well, and can we get a nomination for vice president as well?
I'd like to make a motion to nominate Director Greg Wood for vice president.
Second.
Oh, Glenn in
Make a
second.
motion, we had nominations.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, any discussion?
There's not a second yet.
No second, oh, no second.
No,
Yeah,
we
there's
have,
nominations now that,
we have a word
Director
and
Glennon has made the motion. No need a second.
So you understand this on the rotation?
well, I got that, well, okay, okay, I had Wood and Glenn,
You have,
so no, I'm saying for the motion,
The
Oh,
motion by
no.
Wood to elect Vice President Washington for board
For
president.
president,
Yeah.
it was Wood.
Wood for,
was that a
Vice president.
nomination or, I'm sorry.
So we need to do this over. I see what he's saying.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
you should ask for nominations first and then.
Yeah.
The motion.
nominations for position of,
okay, I'd like to.
President, Chairman.
I'd like to, in keeping with the district, procedure we've had, let's
Administrative.
elect Vice President Washington as district president, and then Director Wood, who's the junior board member, let's elect him to the vice president. That's the motion I would have.
second. Okay. All right, no discussion on this, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So it's 4-1. Gregory Washington, president.
Four of us here.
4-0, I'm sorry. Thank you. Where'd that one come
I do
from?
not know.
I was making a four and then,
The calculator.
thank you, I'm glad I'm sitting next to you.
You have a
I
calculator,
know, where'd that one come from?
instructors how to use it.
There's the way, let's see here, yeah, there was, oh.
President Washington and Vice President Wood, would you like to move to now, move your seats or sit in the different seats?
All right,
Can I keep my seat here?
You certainly can.
I think you can. Look at that, it happens that fast.
Okay.
See, Rick, I'm sorry, I like that seat, I got comfortable there.
Just down the street.
I know. The seat's a little more rigid.
Right.
I have a vacancy, people. We have a vacancy here.
I know. That's next, huh?
Would like to say that I've been very pleased with Ben's leadership on the board. And, I don't know who, we will put in the position for the fifth director. But, I think it's gonna be very difficult to find someone as effective as Ben was on this board.
We've created a dilemma. All my reelection signs says Wood, Webb, Stewart.
Well, I want to say that, give a very heartfelt thank you to Ben for his service to his community, and he will be greatly missed on this board.
We also been grow and mature into a very good board president, from a director to the board president. Yes.
I got a couple comments. I just want to thank Director Stewart for his efforts. Really enjoyed working with him. His youthful energy was really a plus. So sorry to see him leave. And with that said, let me start by saying that it's an honor to assume this role as a chairman. I'm committed to fulfilling my obligations. So you all can expect my consistent attendance and leadership of this board, marked by respect for all, including directors, general managers, staff, ratepayers, with the focus on maintaining integrity and decorum. So in other words, no more Florida for me. All right, that's all we
We
have.
could move one of the meetings to Florida.
We could. That's a little difficult here. That's
So I'd like to say congratulations,
Thank you.
President Washington.
all right.
Man, you have to buy lunch now, sir.
Okay, I'll do that. That's something we can do. Okay, we can move on here, huh? New business 3. Authorize Director Greg Wood to let me start over. Authorize Director Greg Wood to present at CWEA Pretreatment, Pollution, Prevention, and Stormwater Conference in Riverside, California in February. The presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President.
35.
So Director Wood actually had warned the board several months ago about being invited to present at this conference. And then on October 31st, he was actually notified that he was selected to present. But in order to secure the engagement, he actually had to sign a presenter agreement ahead of this board meeting on November 10th. It has been the board's policy to support board members and staff in education efforts, including providing knowledge of district decisions, projects, and initiatives that promote and advance water resource management through seminar and conference presentations. It is my recommendation to the board that you, and being consistent with district policy, that Director Wood is authorized to go and is reimbursed for his costs.
Okay, motion to approve.
Well, I have a question, sir. Two things. Since he's going and it's already been done, can he vote on this motion? Can you vote on
That's very good.
it? Because he get a direct benefit from it.
Well, he's not getting
Well, the districts, I'm just saying, can he vote or not vote on it?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's a good question. John, what's your opinion on this? Is this
Can
something?
you go ahead and ask that question again, please? You broke up just as you
John,
broke up.
I'm just asking Director Wood, he's gonna be the president at there, but does he also have a vote on this? Or should it just be the 3 other board members vote on it?
Should
Yeah.
In an abundance of caution, I would have him not vote.
I'd like to make a motion that, Vice President Wood attend the conference as a presenter, in February of 2026.
Oh, 12. Did I hear you, Director Glennon?
Yeah.
Second, Director Glennon. Discussion.
I wondered, would we want to require him to wear a tie or?
You wear a top hat and a tie, but
Yeah, I went to go there, but I didn't want to go there.
And be sure he's shaven?
I'm doing that now.
Could you share just a quick brief, maybe 60 seconds, what you're gonna talk about and?
Well, basically, what we're gonna be talking about is getting off the sidelines and into the water recycling game. And basically following up what Lahan told us back in 2019, when they approved our treatment plant, that they were hoping that this would be a jumping board, this agency. But this isn't the first rodeo with this. back in 2021, myself, Steve Perez, and Sergio from Lahontan, and Keith Dias, representing the Lahontan board, we made a virtual presentation in partnership with CASA and CWA together. And we represented the small agencies. LA County Sanitation represented the large agency. And so this will be a time where we're just with CWA, and it's basically going to be sharing with people like we've done. This will be the fourth time that we've been able to share with agencies throughout the state how our water reclamation plant has been a success, and hopefully encourage other small agencies that haven't done it so far to look at other alternatives besides having to go with the Title 22 and a purple pipe infrastructure cost. And so we're hoping it's just another opportunity to share with other agencies in the state what Roseman has done as far as getting off the sideline and getting in the water reclamation game.
Okay. One more question. What is CWEA?
California Water Environmental Association. And
It
they
is
handle,
the state agency from what's called WEF, which is the Water Environment Federation. That's the national organization. It's basically wastewater, primarily wastewater. It's the highly technical arm of the wastewater groups.
and one other thing too, I would like to, at this time, before you guys vote on this, I would like to see it come on to the future agenda that this agency becomes a member of CWEA, so we can participate further in future endeavors with CWA in promoting wastewater and wastewater technology. And that's all I have.
Any more discussion?
Mr. President, if I may, I would like to call for a roll call vote on this item.
Okay. Okay. Roll call vote. Director Rick Webb,
Yes.
Director Glennon,
Yeah.
Director Washington, drum roll. Yes. Okay, 3-0.
We'll abstain.
And let the record show that I abstained.
Abstain. Would. Okay. New business 4. Approval of change order number 1 to task order 2025-7. ACOM with ACOM for engineering services for the supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA upgrade project. Presenter is Kim Domingo, General Manager.
Thank you, Mr. President. So back on March 26th, the board approved task order 2025 in an amount of $32,000 to provide design service for programmable logic controllers, which operate the SCADA system at 2 well sites and then 2 of 3 of the programmable logic controllers at the wastewater plant. When the consultant came out to look at the sites, staff indicated that there were additional sites that they would like to have, they wanted to have SCADA improvements at. And that's, so on I noticed that the color, I don't know if the color came in on your sets, but it's the first page of the scope that AECOM provided. And there's a table and it's got, I think they were in green and in blue, but the bolded ones are the ones that were in scope. And then the lines that are not bolded, which are all the tanks, the admin building, Sierra Highway, and then the two of the turnouts on the water side, then another one of the programmable logic controllers at the wastewater plant also is added. So we're adding, I don't know, let's see if I count the sites, 6, so looks like 10 additional sites instead of the first 4. And the additional cost is gonna be another $31,000 for a total of $63,000. It's recommended that you approve because this is something that will enhance the staff's operational flexibility, especially their remote monitoring capabilities.
Okay, motion to approve. Change order number 1, the task order 2025-7.
Move.
Motion by Director Wood,
Second.
second by Director Glennon. Discussion? I have a question.
Yes.
Will you be able to see SCADA from your phone?
I don't believe they have that capability. I think it's all via laptop.
But who needs to see it has a laptop and
Yes.
with them most of the time?
And stations, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Workstations.
Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 4-0. New business 5, approve wastewater treatment plant sludge storage slab project, change order number 2. Presenter, Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This change order will finish the project up. It adds another $42,000 roughly to the project. The table on the second page of the staff report shows items that were removed and then items that were added, and the differences. And so this, the bulk of the change is the amount of concrete, which did increase because of the soil conditions that we encountered. So the recommendation is that you approve.
Okay, motion to approve.
I'll move.
Second,
By Glennon, second by Wood. Discussion?
Webster.
Webb, I'm sorry. Discussion? I had a question. I want to go back to the staff report.
Yes.
It says during the course of the construction, it was discovered that a water line that was shown in the bid documents was not in existence. So a new water line connection alignment was ordered. How did we miss the water line?
So the wastewater plant expansion project, if you recall, there was going to be a septic receiving station to the north. That water line was supposed to have been installed with that. Well, that wasn't deleted from the as-built. So the staff, when we gave the design engineer the as-built, that line was still in there. So that was assumed it was going to be tapped into, and guess what? It wasn't there.
Okay. How about the compatibility with the drain line and the new manhole? Oh, the existing manhole, I should
So
say.
the drain that comes back from the drying beds, the sludge drying beds, that is also the same line that drains back the emergency overflow pond. That line is made of epoxy lined and glass lined and epoxy coated steel instead of PVC. So the original design was going to put in a new manhole and install that, but I don't know if you've ever tried cutting into epoxy lined and coated or glass lined pipe, steel pipe, but that's the reason why. So we ended up rerouting to an existing manhole instead.
Okay.
And I do have one question. On that drain line into the manhole, do you feel that it's going to be sufficient enough that as our sludge production grows, as the community grows, that it will have the capacity to handle future growth. In other words, if we go from, as the plant expands in the future, and we produce more sludge, we're gonna have more decant. And, will that line be able to handle future growth, or are we gonna have to look at replacing that line with a larger line down the road? And if so, maybe we might wanna make it a little oversized at this time. Then we don't have to worry about it down the road.
Excellent question, and excellent observation. But here's the thing, we're going to try and move away from the sludge beds, the sludge dry beds. So we won't have a need for a decant. In the future, we're moving towards a sludge screw press, and that'll be the primary means of dewatering. And so I think the line will serve us well now into the future.
Any more discussion? Director Webb, you have anything?
No, sir.
Nothing? Okay. All in favor?
All right?
All opposed? Motion moves 1, 2, 3, 4 to 0. New business 6, identify apparent low, responsive, and responsible bid and award contract to Cedro,
I believe it's pronounced
Cedro Construction for the Merle and Melvin Street Water Service Replacement Project. Presenter is our General Manager, Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is an annual endeavor that the district has undertaken to replace problem area water lines, water service connections. And this year's project is the Myrtle and Melvin Streets. And that's about 51 connections or service lines that we're going to replace. The project budget was about $450,000. We received 4 bids when we opened the bids on October 28th. Cedro Construction was the low at $368,853. But the actual bid amount is corrected because they inadvertently added an alternate, which is basically a line item in case they have to also replace the service saddle and the corp stop. So the actual bid amount and the actual contract amount that you're awarding is for $365,022. The recommendation is to identify them as the low responsive and responsible bid and award the contract to them, and then authorize the general manager to execute because I did not receive their full contract documents at the time of the meeting, so we'll coordinate with them to make sure that they get us the documents in order before we execute.
Okay. Motion approved, NB6.
And we have to do the discussion in,
After?
after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion by Director Wood. Second by Director Glennon. Discussion?
Mr. GM, I know you do not have the answer to this question, but I'm looking at these Coast Construction Eclipse. Have we ever done business with those folks before?
So West Valley is actually doing the arsenic consolidation project. Right now, phase 1. Eclipse is an outfit out of Bakersfield. That's the first time they bid on our work. And then Coast Construction actually bid on the slab project, the storage slab project. So these are returning. Most of them are returning.
Yeah, I'm just looking at how far the numbers are out. I mean, Coast is almost double the winning bid price. I'm just kind of looking at year to year.
So there's I anticipate with a low bid that there'll be a little bit more of a challenge to keep them on track. But sometimes, low bids end up being, doing a great job, like for the sludge storage plant project. We've had a great experience with the current contractor. And so we hope that that's the case, but usually when you have such a disparity, yeah, that there usually is an issue. But when I talked to them on the phone before, when telling them that they were the low bid, they indicated that they're doing a job, and I forget that they're doing a very similar, much larger job in one of the LA cities. And they were very confident that they could do it for that price.
Well, I believe it, but I'm just even looking at coast to the next guy, they're 601, you're 682.
Yeah.
Coast must have put together some serious numbers, didn't you?
So, and typically when you, I can speak directly to that. So Cedar Construction is not having subcontractors, they're doing all the work themselves.
Okay.
And for Eclipse and Coast, it's pretty heavily subcontracted.
Okay.
That's usually what the case.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes a lot more sense that way then.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, anyway, I just looking at these numbers here and they're way out there. Okay, fair enough. I'm good. Thank you, sir.
Any more discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? New business 6 passed 4-0. New business 7, approval of agreement with Robert D. Nahas. Nihas. I should have known that, Greg. Nihas Incorporation for financial consulting services for the water and sewer rate study. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. The district sent out request for proposals to 3 qualified firms. I'll call them RDN. Was not just the fact that they did our last rate study and did a great job, but they were also the lowest priced consultant. And so that those 2 factors tip the scale in their favor, and the recommendation is to engage them. Oh, for the amount, I should tell you the amount. The amount is time and materials not to exceed $69,860.
Okay, motion to approve the approval of agreement with.
Move.
Second. Approved by Director Wood, second by Director Glennon. Discussion? I missed, you did say these are the folks that did the last rate study, okay. Anything else? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 4-0. A lot of business tonight, huh? New business 8, adopt resolution 2025-18, amending resolution 2020-19, clarifying the determination of the number of units for mobile home park sewer charges. Presenter, General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just going to read the background into the record. This issue was brought forward by a current mobile home park owner who has indicated that the existing number of units does not match what is being placed on the property tax roll to calculate sewer-based charges. The policy committee considered the request to reduce the number of units charged, but denied it on historical policies as it relates to single-family dwellings, and I'll just expand a little bit on that. We do have single-family dwellings that, for example, have been burnt down and actually even aren't been demolished, but they still are charged a sewer service charge on the tax rolls and monthly water usage.
Even though there's no connection.
Even though there's not a structure. So that was the primary reason why the policy committee denied it up front. And then sometime later, staff discovered that the board had considered the issue in 2014 and adopted a resolution to define the number of units as occupied spaces. The policy committee reconsidered the request and proposes a resolution for consideration that would establish the number of occupied spaces as existing structures to be determined by a survey of the property at the requesting owner. So The idea is that the owner would ask for a survey from the district staff. District would then accompany the owner out to the site and then basically count structures that would either were previously inhabited, currently inhabited, if they're still there, the assumption is that they're currently inhabited. Additionally, it is proposed that periodic confirmation surveys are conducted in these parks where the owner has requested a reduction of occupied spaces. If confirmation surveys determine that the occupied spaces have increased before notifying the district, an invoice for the increased sewer service base charges will be delivered to the owner for immediate payment, and the assumption would be that that they occurred at the last survey, that we just missed the count. So that is the bulk of the resolution that is here before you. And so if there's any questions, I'll be glad to.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah, I've got some questions on this.
Want to do a motion quick?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to
Oh,
have
okay,
discussion.
good. Yeah, second?
Yes, yeah, second.
Second, Director Webb, discussion, Director Wood.
Okay, board will indulge me on this. I'm gonna be a little long-winded on this, but I was reading over this and I understand the policy committee and how looking at it and things of this nature. But, going back to 2014 and the time when we used to have our water and sewer service charge on the monthly water bill. And the reason we went to the property tax, and we heard a lot of arguments, a lot of angry ratepayers out there that had several rental units. And their argument was, well, if the house is empty, it's not impacting the sewer or the water system. But what we explained to them at that time is that the service rates do not reflect water usage or usage of the sewer system. That's your HCH fees that are on your sewer bill, and then your water use on your water bill. What the service charges pay for is the infrastructure to get that water and sewer to the property. Now, I understand that we made exception when a house burned down or was torn down or whatever. That I don't have a problem with that. But when you have a structure that's sitting vacant, this goes for apartment complexes where they may only have 70% occupancy. The fact is that the water system that serves that piece of property and the sewer system that serves that property was designed for the size of that property. And a lot of people may argue that, well, you got a mobile home park that has 200 units on it, and they can turn around and come back and say, we've only got 50 units occupying the mobile home park, so therefore we're not having that much of an impact. Logically, that sounds like it makes sense, but in reality, sewer systems are designed on gravity flow, and sewer systems are designed on the amount of flow for a 200 unit property to have 200 units discharging into that sewer. If you have less than the maximum amount of units discharging into the sewer, you are actually increasing the O&M cost because of low flow. So you're gonna have to go in there and clean the line more often. You're also gonna get more sulfides building up in the line, which will deteriorate the line quicker. So you're getting more maintenance because of not having it at capacity. And by taking the sewer off of that property down to the units that are actually using, the sewer system still needs to be maintained. And if you have to do higher O&M costs on that sewer, then someone has to pay for it. And therefore, it's gonna be passed on to the rest of the ratepayers. Now, the rest of the ratepayers enjoy a set sewer fee, but that's based upon every connection that's hooked into our system paying their fair share. If we start eliminating connections, those costs are gonna be passed on to the rest of the ratepayers to supplement them getting a break on their property tax bill. And so that is my issues that I have with doing this. I think it would be erroneous, and I think it would, open up a can of worms that I don't think we need to be opening up. But that's just my opinion, and I'm done.
Any more discussion? You bring up a good point, Director Wood. All in favor?
Can I make a discussion point?
Yes.
Hello,
Yes, you may, legal.
hello, board. No, I'm not legal.
Oh, it's legal.
No, I'm sorry. My name is Eric Simmons. I'm with Trailer Haven. Thank you, board, for letting me have a chance to talk real quick. As I hear the conversation about us and other parks having issues with sewer problems, we take care of our own sewer repairs on our property. RCSD does not have any impact on our sewer on our own property. That being said, we have removed 16 units off our property. And out of those 16 units, out of the 5 years, I should say, we've given RCSD over $250,000 out of our own pocket. Now, to me, it should be that it has no impact on other members of our community, since those units have been vacant for almost 5 years. I'd like to ask the board to reconsider this, because it is a financial burden, probably not just on us, but also on other businesses and other community members in our town. We were a veteran owned, our grandfather passed away. He built this park because he believed in community, not only with his veterans, but with the community of Rosemont. So I wish you guys would reconsider this, because it is becoming a huge burden, and not just on our business, but on other people's businesses as well. Thank you.
Mr. Simons, this is General Manager Tim DeMay. I just want to clarify, when you say reconsider, are you in support of the resolution?
I'm in support of being able to, on our own property, take the unit off of the property that has not been used and not being charged extravagant amount cost for units that we are taking off. I understand the units that are there. If there is a structure there, I do understand that we have to pay for it, whether it's vacant, whether it's not vacant. I understand we have to pay for it. There's a structure there. But if there's not a structure there, I do not believe we have to pay for that. And it does not sound legit if I have to pay for it, but I do believe the structures that we have, vacant or not, on our property, we should pay.
And for the record, can you just spell your last name?
SYMONDS.
Thank you very much. And based on what you've described, it sounds like you are in support of the resolution.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Also,
Simmons.
can I add one more thing? Can I add one more thing? May I burden you for one more proposal? I guess.
As long as it's related to the item on the agenda, yes.
It could be. How do we go about metering the park so we don't have to have this burden anymore, where we could have our tenants pay for their water and we pay the taxes.
You're talking about an individually metered system where you,
That's
where you
correct.
actually meter, so do you have that set up right now?
We don't have meters on all our units. We only have meters probably on a handful of them.
Yeah, so the way that that your facility is built is based on the master meter and the one main connection. So however you deal with that internally is totally up to you. And it would continue to, we would bill you in the same fashion.
So you'd bill us, so RCSD cannot help us out with meters on the property. If we put the construction forth to make the meters, to have the meters ready to put in.
No, because we, not only would we need easements for the facility, and we basically, what you're asking us to do is take responsibility for the water system, because we typically have responsibility for the water system up to the meter. So if you're asking us to, are you saying, when you say help us with the meters, are you saying you want us to provide meters, or do you want us to actually?
I'm asking if there's a way for RCSD to actually add meters to the property so that the RCSD can actually take over, bill, and provide services to tenants. That's what I'm asking. I'm saying,
We certainly could talk about that, but that's gonna look a lot, it isn't as simple as it sounds, because we would then be assuming responsibility for maintenance of an infrastructure that is currently on your property.
correct, but that would be from the meter only, right? From the street to the meter, not to the meter to the unit.
No, it'd be to the meter to unit, because if you're asking us to individually meter, then what we're doing is we're actually maintaining the line going all the way up to the meters themselves as well.
Okay, this is something I'd like to talk to somebody about further.
Yeah, you can talk to me. I think I've had email correspondence with your you and your representatives, and
Yeah.
you can certainly reach out.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, any more discussion? That's it? All in favor of amending resolution 2020-19? Say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Oh. You said no. Yes, you coughed when you said no. Okay. Okay, motion passes. Three to one. New business 9. Adopt resolution 2025-19, appointing a qualified individual to fill the vacant board seat pursuant to California Government Code 1780D. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. So when then President Stewart gave us his resignation to start a clock. And actually the clock starts tonight. So we have 60 days in which to appoint a board member or decide to have a special election. So the first thing that that you need to do tonight is you need to decide whether you're going to do an appointment or do a special election. Our recommendation is to do an appointment. We would notice it. I think did we include the notice in the staff report?
Yes.
We included the notice in the staff report. We would post it in three places tomorrow, starting with here in our bulletin board, at the library, and then online. And that would be the three conspicuous places. It has to be posted for 15 days. We would then receive applications. The link or the description of the link to the application is going to be on the notice. So people that are interested in serving on this board that would like to apply can then do so. and it's up to the board, but the thought would be, because all this has to be done in open session, interviews, everything. So, sometime after the 15-day period, and we've collected the applicants, we would have a special meeting to, interview the applicants. And then, the 60 days would expire on the 8th, January 7th, or sure it's 7th or the 8th, I thought it was the 8th. Anyway, the idea would then have another special meeting on either the 7th or the 8th, probably the 7th, Wednesday, to then, vote on appointing the member that you decide on. But the first thing you need to do for now is you need to, somebody needs to make a motion that you're going to do an appointment and not the special election, unless you want to do the special election. But the cost for special elections, $20,000 to $60,000,
And it's a 1 year.
and it's a one-year vacancy.
I make a
So,
motion, we, move forward with the appointment.
Second,
Motion by Director Glennon, second by Director Wood. Discussion? I have a comment. It seems to me that it would make more sense to just appoint as opposed to having an election. Director Stewart's seat was up, I believe, in November, and this coming November.
One more year.
So, yeah. So it's just my opinion, we appoint. Deadline to file. You said there's a 60-day window. What about deadline to file to apply, I should say?
yeah,
You said
they have-
15 days.
Well, 15 days notice, then they can apply starting tomorrow as soon as somebody sees it. There's a 15-day notice. Did we?
Somebody must have saw it. I had an interesting call this weekend.
So. Oh, I'm sorry, you're adopting a resolution. It's 2025-19 to do so. My apologies. Mr. President. Application submitted by the 29th.
29.
Yeah.
All the instructions will be on the notice and the application. There will be an actual application that will be filled out by the applicant.
Okay, very good. Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 3-0. 4-0. I didn't hear Director. Well,
I thought this was a roll call vote.
no.
Resolution, okay, yeah,
Oh, resolution is a roll call vote. Thank you.
yes.
Oh, roll call vote. I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Director Greg Wood,
yes.
Director Byron Glennon,
Yeah.
Director Rick Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Gregory Washington.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
I've done their whole man in.
being consistent with procedures, we should go back to item NV8 and conduct that vote again by roll call. That's a resolution.
Oh, okay. On the resolutions are roll calls. Okay, so we're gonna go back here to
NV8.
new business 8 for a roll call vote on this.
All right. Director Greg Wood,
No,
Director Byron Glennon,
Yes.
Director Rick Webb,
Yes.
President Gregory Washington.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, 3-1. Okay, new business 10, approve updates to the employee handbook to align with memorandum of understanding, or MOU, effective April 1st, 2025. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Because of the MOU, the the unrepresented and exempt employees were also affected by some of the benefits, and so the employee handbook, that involves those, representatives, needed to be, updated. And there's three significant benefits that were updated in the handbook. One is the retiree benefits for long-term employees until Medicare age is reached. The second was the addition of Juneteenth as a holiday, and then the last one was the cost of living adjustment for the next 3 years. And then just the minor grammatical formatting and reference corrections for consistency and clarity. The recommendation is that you approve.
Okay. Motion to approve the update to the handbook.
Motion to approve, sir.
Okay. Motion by Director Webb,
Second,
second by Director Wood. Discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
aye.
All opposed? Passes 4-0. Does anyone need a break? We're okay? We're okay?
Good.
All right, discussion. D1, discussion of strategic plan status. Presenter is General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Director Webb asked that we bring this back to the, put this on the agenda for discussion. The strategic plan status, and I pulled the notes that I had from the October meeting that we had to talk about this last October, which would be 2024, so about a year behind, to talk about some of the things that have happened in this last this calendar year, just to give you an idea of some of the things that we talked about and where we're at. And so we really haven't been able to, or haven't had a forum, haven't brought it to the agenda, to the board, to kind of discuss what we've been talking about in committees and how it relates to the strategic plan. I don't have the document in front of you, it wasn't in your packet, but there are 5 main initiatives, and I'll just read them for you at this point. One was create deliberate fiscal resources, and that included established deliberate fiscal reserves. So you have a reserve policy and establish those. Non-traditional revenue, things such as including solar, and then also perhaps liquidation of some of your assets. Solar mitigation, so an energy plan, and then evaluate and confirm fee revenues, and that's, involves capacity, connection fees, water and sewer rates. So just to kind of give you an update on that initiative, the board has a reserve policy, and in fact, I believe the report on that reserve policy you approved earlier, the reserve balance is CC4. So if you wanted to look and see where your reserves are at related to the reserve policy, you can certainly do that. As far as non-traditional revenue, liquidation of investment assets for capital projects, that was one of the items. The board has been entertaining, or actually entertaining the divestiture, the sale of, for example, some assets that we don't necessarily gain benefit from at this point, which would include potentially the water bank, for example. And then solar mitigation, there's been an energy project at every single site that the district has that has energy consumption. So including the well sites, including the wastewater plant, including this site. And then also the fee revenues, we're in the middle of a capacity connection fee study that we're finalizing. And then you just embarked on the next water and sewer rate study. So as it relates to creating the deliberate fiscal resources, that has been undertaken. Any questions about that one? I'm gonna move on to the next 5. Number two, conducts succession planning. One, to have a plan development. In the personnel committee, we talked about the actual succession planning. When the board authorized the assistant general manager, that the intent for the assistant general manager is to work side by side with your general manager in the with the intention of that person being able to roll into that spot, and the board having a ready candidate to consider. Also looking at internal clear career growth paths, and there are definitely some. The issue is we only have so many personnel and so many needs for personnel. And so some people are entrenched in some of those positions. And so we certainly encourage training. And so I think I don't think there's been a single training request, at least I'm not aware of one, that has been denied. So all the training requests have been authorized. And then management reorganization for the succession strategy. Not only are we getting close to bringing on board the assistant general manager, but we're also going to be in the process of recruiting an assistant director of administration as well, so that we have additional personnel that will be able to fit those roles when your existing staff leaves the district.
Gotcha.
And then employee development, talking about education, training, and mentoring. I've always offered, my door is being open for anybody that wants to come in and talk about, what they could do to advance their career. And that, including leaving the district. I'm not scared of that conversation, and I hope nobody is scared of that conversation when they come to see me. But I'm absolutely interested in seeing the opportunities for our existing staff. That they have every opportunity for improvement. So anyway, we do have a succession plan in place. Hasn't been brought before the whole board. I've talked a little bit about it. Is there any questions about succession planning? Hearing none, I'm going to move to initiative 3, which is manage administrative, operational, and maintenance needs. One is employee education and encourage board and staff conference attendance. I think we lead the league in board and conference attendance, just so you know. And it's really great. I mean, I've been to a few conferences now, and the Tri-State one was just an awesome conference. I really enjoyed that conference, and watching our staff kind of blossom, in their presentation. So that was pretty awesome. And then also analyzing the personnel needs. We've again, my door's open, and when somebody comes in and says, I think it would be better if we organize our workforce in this fashion, I listen. And my whiteboard had basically, it started as a conversation on how to divvy up some of the roles that we have in public works, and how that kind of morphed into the actual succession planning organization chart. So I encourage everybody to come and talk about that. But anyway, I think that we are, again, all of these things is not necessarily written down at this point. It will be, and it needs to be. But we have been making progress on each one of these initiatives, and I just want to restate that. Are there any questions about the managed administrative, operational, maintenance needs initiative? Hearing none, I'll move on to the 4th one, which is improve community communications. And that involves training, outside media, and video outreach. I think the biggest thing about training is to have a consistent message, and that between the board and staff. And I think that's been, you guys do a great job doing that. You are we're giving one message to the public. I try to equip you with as much information so you can make intelligent communications with the public when you encounter them. I think our public media or public relations folks do an outstanding job in helping to make the message a little bit more digestible, because our messages can sometimes get really technical, and they really make it so that it's for public consumption. And I really appreciate the job that they do. We utilize them. That's what outside media, and then video outreach. That's the one thing that we still need, and that's produce a video of each board meeting, and that won't come until we actually have the improvements to the AV in this room, which is coming. That's still in the capital projects budget. Are there any questions about improved community communications? Because I think we do an excellent, quite frankly, I think we do an excellent job. Hearing none, I will move on to initiative 5, and that is maintaining our water and wastewater systems. And that's proactive maintenance, number 1. And we're talking about predictive and preventative. I think we have the preventative down. We're still lagging a little bit on the predictive, I'll just be quite honest with you. We're one of the second point of this is data and maintenance, talking about asset management systems. And one of the things that we've done is we have a graphic information system that all of our underground assets are a part of. The information, the data for maintenance gets updated within that system, so it's readily accessible. We're working on the next steps, which are to actually create the work orders and the workflows within that. So we are working within that system, the GIS system. I know one of the things that John's done, for example, very recently is engage them to put all the will serve letters that he gets, to put it on GIS so we can see it from a graphic point of view, and that we can track it. I mean, that's huge, and I commend John for doing that, because that is a very important piece of the planning horizon data that we don't really have a good handle on.
Right.
So anyway, that's one of the things that we're doing. So on the the predictive maintenance, there have been some discussions about doing some studies, some vibration studies on our rotating equipment, for example.
Mhm.
We haven't engaged that yet, but that's certainly something that needs to be a goal of ours in the future. Again, we're still keeping up. We're trying to come up with one workflow system in which to track our maintenance of our assets.
Like a condition-based maintenance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then process streamlining, and then project management. One of the things that your general manager does a lot of right now is project management, and I'm looking forward to having the assistant general manager come on board, because when I'm doing project management or on your project, the district projects, I'm not doing general manager stuff, just so you know. So it's really important that I offload this to somebody, and we're getting somebody on board that will be able to take this on. And I'm really looking forward to it, because I think that's been one of the weaknesses, quite frankly, that this organization has had for some time. I'm trying to make sure that we have the processes in place that keep us compliant, number 1, and keep us out of trouble with unions and with other contractors, just so you know.
Right.
Any questions on maintaining our water and wastewater systems initiative? Okay, and then finally, the last one is develop a long-range water securitization plan. That's a word, securitization. Talking about water security, water acquisition, and water efficiency. So one of the discussions that we had recently at the water committee, we had talked about purchasing 300 acre feet. That's available right now on the market. But after discussion with our finance consultant, I have changed my opinion and my recommendation, and we are actually in a very secure position from a water supply perspective. And we are working on kind of the connection between what we percolate into the ground and how that benefits the water side, and how the water side needs to account for that to the sewer side and what the sewer side is doing. So that discussion has been happening in the water committee. It'll flow over when the time's appropriate, probably not to the wastewater committee, but to the board, absolutely. But because water security, water acquisition, and water efficiency, now that's the one thing that I think is very that the board and the committees have been very enthusiastic about, and I think that's good, because it's coming big time, and that is water efficiency, talking about state mandated water use efficiency and conservation. One of the things that we will be asking in the mid-year budget, just so you know, is to roll out a project in which we get the Metron meters on every single user. Because I think it'll be important for people to understand that water budgets are gonna start to happen, and they need to start to happen in the homes, right? Instead of us, it'll help us police it, of course, but it'll give the consumers, your customers, the opportunity to manage their water use and to see what they can do to improve that and to help meet the mandates. So
That's great.
that summarizes the strategic plan and what the status is right now. I had specific goals that I'm supposed to have by the next meeting, at least 4 of them. I can talk about those. Well, I can tell you this. Okay, so the strategic vision was, in a 5-year period, we are using our denitrified water in a beneficially acceptable manner. Check, that's done. We have strategically crafted water acquisitions, additional sources, and developed storage of additional water supplies to serve the community. Check, that's done. We continue to plan water and wastewater capacity to accommodate growth. Your capital improvement project budget reflects that commitment, just so you know. So check, and that's done. We have improved our public image through the utilization of public outreach via newsletters, social media, and public meetings. And every one of you that attends a meeting and speaks at them, I commend you, because you're doing a great job at that. And then, of course, our PR folks are doing an absolute outstanding job of getting our public image improved through a common and consistent message. Number 5 is we have corroborated with staff to create an active succession plan in key positions and created a professional development plan for our employees. The one thing that's missing on this one is the professional development plan for the employees.
Mm-hmm.
We do ask them during their reviews what their plan is, if they have a plan for improvement, and if they're interested in doing other things. So we do ask them that question, and we try to create a plan for them to do that, to meet that. So although we don't have one per se, we do that discussion does happen with the individual employees during their performance reviews. And then the last one, number 6, is we have established a fair and equitable rate process, and we are in process for both the connection fees and for the rate study. So that concludes my kind of update of the strategic vision and strategic plan. If anybody has any
Thank
questions
you.
or comments,
Oh, I'm sure that,
That was very good, Mr. GM. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
you're welcome.
okay.
Just so everyone knows, I was kind of barking for that.
Yeah, I can hear you over here growling.
No, but thank you, good update, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other discussion? I had a little small thing I wanted to, really small issue, but worth revisiting. You talked a little bit about predictive, preventive, and you talked about wastewater, but this isn't particularly wastewater. But Director Wood brought up something a couple weeks ago in terms of our fleet and how we address our fleet. Now, his recommendation was that maybe we bring in a fleet consultant. My question to you, how do we currently handle our fleet? Is there some software that we can bring in to better recognize potential breaks, the maintenance? My experience with fleet the highway patrol comes in unannounced and he wants records of our commercial vehicles, different AQ&D, record keeping, all those type, they never announce, they just show up. Do we have a safeguard in place that we're dealing with our vehicles in that matter?
So the answer to the question is yes, because we are also exposed to CHP inspections, so yes. What that looks like, I can't tell you, because I have not delved into it and tried to find information out. What I will do though, President Washington, is I will talk to our Public Works Director, because he oversees that, and ask him to report out to the board at the next meeting, specifically to that and what we have in place. And then I'm pretty sure we don't have software. But we do have a paper file system that we're using. We have one particular employee that keeps track of it. I know that.
So you're on top of it.
Yeah, and but anyway, I will ask John to report out.
In terms of maintenance of the vehicles, do you have an agreement with someone out here, auto repair or?
No, we actually do most of the repair work in-house.
Wow, that's great.
We actually do most of it in-house. Obviously, we don't change tires, but most of the, in fact, almost entirety of the work is done in-house.
So the bases are covered.
Yeah.
Have anything you want to add, or you good? Okay, because you know, two things can be right. Okay.
Good update.
Yeah, that ends our discussion on strategic plan. Directors' reports, comments, committee reports, future agenda items. I'll start with Director Webb.
Thank you, sir. I have nothing.
Okay. Director Glennon.
The supervisors are going to have a meeting at Hummel Hall, or send someone, not the supervisors, but the county supervisors, they're gonna send someone there, and they're gonna be looking for input on implementing a change in our trash collection. And they put it off a number of times, and I'm gonna be there, and I would encourage you to be there to suggest they put it off again. I do not want to have 2 or 3 different trash cans out there each time.
That's a lot of work on Tuesday mornings for me, rolling out 3 cans.
And I'm not convinced at all of the wisdom behind that kind of ecology. Anyway, it's on the 20th at 5:30 at Hummel Hall.
You know, I kind of thought, will that create more dumping out into the fields?
Probably.
Because that's a problem now.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. All right, that's all you have?
Yeah.
All right, Director Wood.
Okay, I'd like to officially make it a request that we have CWEA membership on our next agenda. And also, I'm glad you mentioned conferences and how much you've been enjoying them. Because if you remember, several months ago when I first brought up CWEA, is that I can't do this alone. And I am going to be asking the board to approve Ryan and our general manager's attendance to this conference, because Ryan is fresh off Tri-State. He has a good PowerPoint presentation all ready to go. And it's a good opportunity for us, and especially during the Q&A, if we got our bases covered and have Kim there and Ryan there as well as myself to answer whatever comes our way. But we're gonna need to get them approved to be able to attend as well. And oh, by the way, Sherry, filling out the application, I had to list an administrative assistant. Bingo. And basically they just had your email, so any correspondence back and forth, they'll probably be sending it to you.
Sure. Thank you.
And that's all I have.
You don't need anyone to operate the clicker or anything for you. I'm good at that kind of stuff. I'll put a good PowerPoint together for you.
I'm
You need some help, I'll help
I'm
you.
hoping that we approve the membership, that all the directors
Go with that
can
clicker.
go. And you could all take turns with the clicker.
Okay. Well, let me start. I'm a day late, but I want to wish all the veterans a happy belated Veterans Day. You know, we have over 11% of our community are veterans. That's a large number. Now that our director has resigned, there are some committee slots that will need to be appointed. I believe there are probably, 3 committees he may have sat on? But I'll take a look at that and get with everyone individually to see what your interest is in it.
President Washington, we'll provide you the roster and so you
Okay.
know, and you can sign them accordingly.
Okay,
But you might, I don't know if you want to wait until you appoint the next one.
that's a good idea. Yeah, okay. I'm glad someone's thinking here. And lastly, outstanding newsletter this month. You really enlightened the community on some issues that they needed to be aware of, Kern County in particular. So good job to that. I really, like I said before, that is a great piece of equipment that gets out to our community to know what's going on. So that's all I have.
Excellent direction from RCSD staff.
All right. Okay, general counsel update.
I don't think I can add anything to all the things that have happened tonight, so I'll say no report.
It's been a long evening, sir.
All good.
Thank you. Oh boy, general manager update, huh? You've been talking, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to give you a quick update on the eminent domain proceedings for two resolutions you took action on. One of the owners, Johnny will be interested in this, Gordiano, signed the easement documents, so we will not be taking them to court. So, but we are still waiting on the other, and I have a feeling he will not sign, so we're ready to go in the distance on that one. What else do I have? Nothing is that I can think of. I think I've talked enough.
Can I comment on Mr. GM?
Yes.
The well-informed, the board, thank you very much for the effort. It's actually that you kind of took everything out here and brought it here. So thank you very much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's it? Okay.
No, there's Sherry too.
Sure.
No, I'm your report. You're done with your report.
Don't
Okay.
want me talking.
No more question. Okay. Okay, Director of Administration update, Sherry Tim.
So this month we've had 180 pending shut-off notices mailed. We had 108 door tags delivered. And just a reminder, we have no regular board meeting on November 26th. And if there are no questions, that's the end of my report.
I have a question. Have you had many customers, ratepayers calling saying that their water bill has gone up in the last couple of months? Not aware that the rates went up and
We had that discussion with them. A lot of the customers that have called to express concern about higher bills are actually on the Metron meters. So the staff has been able to go in and say, by the way, this is what we see, and then encourage them to enroll and get onto the website so they can see it themselves.
great.
So I'm personally really looking forward to having more of them out to get them rolled out fully and get the notification out that this is happening.
No, I need one. Metron meter.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure you've seen my water bill. Okay, thank you very much. Public Works update, Mr. John Houghton. So today,
Yeah, there's a report that's included in your staff report if you have any questions. I'll attempt to answer them.
any questions? No questions. With that said, I think we can adjourn, huh? Time is 7:29.
No, you didn't.
Everybody